This is Jay Ramone from Rock 100.5 the KATT, and I am with Brann Dailor from Mastodon as we talk about the Zoo Amphitheater and their upcoming show with Gojira.
It's pretty difficult to play there because you've got all of these things going against you. The stage is facing the west, the sun is coming down, just beating on you. You're lower elevation, so there's no wind whatsoever. It can be a little nerve-wracking. What is it like from your perspective as the drummer?
It's not that big of a deal. You just do your show, and whatever the variables are that are stacked against you playing outdoors, we're used to it. We've been up against, there's been so many weather incidents that we've played through. There's been so many, oh, by the way, it's going to be 115 degrees on stage today, and the sun's going to be right in your face. And, you kind of go, oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. You just suck it up and get in there and make it happen. The only thing that's unsurmountable is, when the lightning strikes, then they usually call it. But as far as weather events are concerned, we've pretty much played through all those different ones. And as far as like being uncomfortable on stage, being too hot, happened many, many times. Especially playing some of those Ozfests back in the day, where you'd be in Arizona in the middle of August on the asphalt at 1:30 in the afternoon. That was about to have a stroke.
That's when you cut your teeth.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's no big deal at all. It's all good. As long as the crowd is comfy cozy, that's what I care about.
You guys are a band that have, stayed busy as long as you've been a band. Since the early 2000s, you guys have kind of remained on the road nonstop. What kind of behavior do you have routines do you have while you're on the road and you're touring?
Well, they've changed over the years. The first 10 years of the band was, Motley Crue 82, party. Lots of hungover, kind of shows. But, the second 10 years that we've been out here, you've got to take care of yourself, and you got to try to eat right and try to get sleep, and, no partying if you want to be good. Plus, you get more fans and more people coming out and a bigger production and more singing, and people expect you. They're paying a lot of money for tickets, so they expect you to perform well, and you want to perform well. So for me, it's just like try to get as much sleep as I can, and just my normal warm-up routine. If I need to get an hour of tippy tapping and getting warmed up and doing my vocal stuff and just sort of getting into the zone of we're going to go do a rock show and it's important. And so I try not to have any distractions like an hour out, So just try to cap it. If you got people backstage hanging out that are your friends and stuff, you kind of have to have your tour manager come in and be the bad guy and be like, all right, everybody, let's go have, enjoy the openers and have fun out there. These guys got to get ready for the show. So that's the only thing for me is I like that hour of downtime, or not even downtime, just like to focus on what we got to go do.
Tour managers always get the jobs nobody else wants to do. They got to deliver all the bad news.
That's all the bad news. That's part of it,
So Mastodon fans almost have like a cult-like following with the band, where you run into another person like at the grocery store or whatever, and you see them wearing a piece of Mastodon merch, and you instantly freeze, and you're just like, oh, that's my friend right there. I can already tell. So I feel like you guys going out on tour with Gojira, you're kind of merging those two cult fan bases together. And from what I've read, this is the biggest production you guys have had on any tour yet. Is that true?
Yeah, it's a pretty huge production for us, and it's something that we've sort of been, I guess, I don't know if striving for is the right word. It's more like, are we willing to pay the money it is to carry this level of production with us?
It's expensive.
Kind of knowing full well that we might not go home with much in our pockets, you know what I mean? But we're presenting the big rock show, and just given that extra layer of entertainment to the audience, because it's a very saturated tour market at this time, when with all the bands, every band is packed packaging up and going out there and doing it. So, you know, you got to offer the fans a little something extra, you know, I feel like. And with joining forces with somebody like Gojira, who has become immensely popular over the last few years, you know, matching us, we felt like we could, you know, combine forces and combine paychecks basically, and afford to bring all the fire and all the big video wall and just all the lasers and all the cool stuff, you know, all the bells and whistles.
Well, as a metal fan, I'm used to seeing heavier bands in smaller venues, you know, not stadiums, not big giant venues. So now this is my opportunity to see you guys in a massive venue where you can do full production and things like that. So it's exciting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I like the other version as well. I like hang a backdrop and do your thing, you know what I mean? So I like both things, but, you know, the little kid in me that went to go see Judas Priest in 1984 wants the big rock show too, you know what I mean? If we can afford it and we can do it, like, might as well. You know, it's like, and there's music, you know, and we're playing our instruments, and, you know, but, you know, things are on fire, and it's pretty amazing. I was not shocked because I've seen plenty of rock shows and been a part of plenty of rock shows, you know, touring with bands like Metallica and Slayer, you know, who've use a lot of pyro. If you could be way off side of the stage, way out front somewhere, and those flames go off, you feel it. You're like, damn,
oh yeah,
what's it like up there for the guys? And now I know it is real hot. The fire is probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 feet from me, from my back. And I'm just like a crispy little chicken McNugget back there getting cooked up. The other day we forgot to put my fan on, and I couldn't even, I mean, I was about to fall out. I was so hot. I thought I was going to pass out. And I'm thinking to myself, what is different? Because we've been doing this for the last 5 or 6 days, and now all of a sudden, like, I can barely play March of the Fire Ant because I'm so winded. Like, what happened? I finally dawned on me that the fan was not on. So, anyways,
makes a huge difference
for the last song. It made a world of difference.
A couple of years ago, you guys released a rarities record, and there is a Flaming Lips cover on there. And being from Oklahoma, I'm a Flaming Lips fan, and I've always thought that was kind of a strange cover for you guys to do. Are you guys Flaming Lips fans, or how did that come about?
Yeah, we're pretty big Flaming Lips fans. I mean, I think it was probably late when the Soft Bulletin came out. I became a huge fan just because I was in a band called Today's the Day at the time, and we were on tour with Neurosis in Europe. And you know, when sound guys are testing out the PA, they usually play the same song every day to, like, check where the bass is at and where the levels are at before they even start doing any kind of line check. And so every day, the sound guy for Neurosis, Dave Clark, would check the PA with a spoonful of Ways to Come. And every day I would walk out to listen to it on the PA, because I was just like, I love this song, whatever this is. It's Flaming Lips. I'm like, oh yeah, the Vaseline song, or whatever, Tangerine or Vaseline, you know. So it was a band that I thought I hadn't heard from in a while, and I hadn't heard anything from them in a while. When the Soft Bulletin came out, when I got home, I went and got the CD, and just, you know, a big fan of it. And then when I met Brann, he was also a huge fan of that particular album and the albums that came after it. And so being on Warner's, they were doing this, they were giving their bands like a list of songs that they could possibly cover from the vast catalog that Warner's has.
Right.
And we saw that was an option, so we decided to go ahead and cut it, along with a commotion that we did with Feist, to do the split 7-inch we did with them.
So when Warner Brothers put out whatever anniversary record that was with all the covers, originally the Lips were, they had recorded a version of Purple Rain, and that was what they were going to use, but Prince's camp said no, and so they ended up putting out with Stardust, and they put out a Borderline cover, the Madonna cover, and I was always hoping that Flaming Lips Purple Rain cover would come out eventually and see the light of day. But I thought that was a really cool idea that Warner did, having Warner artists cover other Warner artists, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. We did a ZZ Top cover too.
Which one?
Just Got Paid.
Is that out?
And Billy actually, yeah, that's out. We put a 7-inch out of that, and Billy Gibbons played guitar on it, and he says Halloween at the very end. don't know.
Billy is one of the coolest
Says
dudes.
Happy Halloween.
He's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met, and I've got to see him play several solo shows around Oklahoma in smaller venues, and just mind-blowing how unbelievably talented that dude is, and just the coolest guy in the room as soon as he walks in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't gotta say much except for that's Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitar player. So what after that, everything else, right? I mean, and on top of it all, he's like the sweetest guy ever. So.
Oh yeah, super nice.
Don't make him like bad. Yeah.
So what other artists are out there like that you would like to collaborate with that are kind of outside the norm, like Billy Gibbons?
Oh, like Bjork or the Cocteau Twins, any of that. Dead Can Dance maybe, or I guess I'm showing some of my 90s, but that's me. Yeah, stuff like that. I would say those are a few just to start.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the show at the Zoo Amphitheater, and excited to see you guys come back through Oklahoma again, and I appreciate the time. I'm a huge fan of Count's Customs, and so I saw the episode, and I thought your caddy turned out completely badass, and I thought the tribute was awesome. Well, man, can't wait to see the show. Super excited.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for the time.
Me too. I love it there. We had a lot of fun times. What's it called? The Green Door?
The Green Door, the Diamond Ballroom. I've seen you guys in like 5 different places.
The Diamond Ballroom. I was just thinking the Green Door,
that's OG.
A few times, way back, and there was like a record store next door to there.
Size Records.
Yeah. Is that still there?
No, the record store's gone. The venue has a new owner. It's still there, still an all ages alternative venue, but he's completely renovated and made the room really nice inside. Still the same kind of booking and style, but the bathrooms work, like everything's been upgraded. So it's cool that it's still a venue. But Size Records was the shit.
Yeah, Size Records. They had like an original piece of art in there that was a Flaming Lips album cover or something. I remember we all went over to go look at it. Pretty cool.
Well, I imagine Wayne and a bunch of the crew guys will be out at the show, because every time I've hung out with them, we've always talked about Mastodon, because they know I'm a giant metalhead.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, man, I appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. Later.
See ya.
Big thanks to Brann Dailor from Mastodon for letting us talk about all things Mastodon, as well as the Green Door. What a flashback. This is Jay Ramone with Rock 100.5 the KATT.